How do you make less is more a reality in your own life? I'm going to be talking about some Japanese poetry on Reinventing You. How's it going? I'm Amelia Sims. This is Reinventing You, the channel where you can be inspired to go on your own reinventing journey so that you can live an authentic life of joy, fulfillment, and purpose. I post twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the evenings, and I invite you to subscribe today. In my last video, which you can see up here, I talked about less is more. And when I was recording, I recorded all this information, and then I had some problems in the recording, and then I had to come back and record some more. And I recorded this whole section, ended up being like 14 minutes, and I somehow lost the recording. I couldn't recover it either on my phone or my computer, so I just gave up. And I finally said, well, if it's 14 minutes long, obviously it really deserves its own video. So this video is about, of all things, haiku productivity. As I said, and I'm not going to go through everything I said in my last video, but less is more. The less you are trying to do, the better you're going to be at what you do. When you try to do all of these things, then you end up nothing is done very well. I came across this article from zenhabits.net. It was written several years ago. The title of the article is Haiku Productivity, the fine art of limiting yourself to the essential. I really like the idea. Now, if you understand anything about Japanese poetry, and I was an English major in college, but I've never really been a poet or a poetry reader. Poetry is not my thing. But one of my favorite forms of poetry is the haiku poetry. Haiku poetry is a Japanese form of poetry, and it's limited to basically 17 syllables throughout the poem. Usually it's 5-7-5. That is 3 lines. One's got 5 syllables, the next got 7 syllables, and another one has another 5 syllables. And I am going to attempt to write an haiku, and I've got it below in the description if you want to read it, just for an example. And what I really like about haiku poetry is that it really does simplify your ideas. You've got to take these big ideas and these viewpoints and these images, and you've got to really pare them down to the essential. You still want the same meaning, but you really need to pare everything down. Haiku productivity is paring everything you're trying to do down to the essentials. So haiku productivity basically is paring everything down that you want to do or you have to do to the essentials, and it uses 1 through 7, 10, and 100. This is how it breaks down. 1, have one focus, one goal. Not 6, not 7 or 8. I talked in my less is more video about the fact that you could have one goal for your career, one goal for your family, one goal for your spiritual life, or something like that. And that's fine. But don't have 6 different things you're trying to do in your career, or 3 things you want to do in your spiritual life or your hobby or whatever it is. What you do in haiku productivity is you say, okay, one thing, and you focus on that one thing. And that is so hard for me because I always want to get it all done and do it all yesterday. Number 2 is only check your emails twice a day. Are you one of those people that you have your email notification on your phone, and every time you get an email it bings or makes this noise or whatever, and then you check it, and half the time it's spam or it's your alma mater wanting to you to give money or something you could care less about? Turn off those notifications. You don't need them. Most of the time you're not going to have time to get to whatever the email is about. So it's really, you're wasting time. You read an email, you get it, you get bing, you read the email, you think, oh, I need to respond to that or whatever, and then you close your email out, and then you come along and maybe later in the day you're reading your emails, oh yeah, there's that email I read earlier, or a couple weeks later you're like trying to clean out your email list. It's like, oh yeah, I never responded to that. What you need to do is pick 2 times a day to check your email. Could be in the morning. I don't recommend first thing because you will get distracted about everything everybody else wants from you. Maybe 9 or 10 o'clock when you've done all the other essential things that you need to do for the day, and then check your email. And then maybe check it once in the evening. Don't check it right before bedtime, but maybe before supper time or sometime where you have some time. If you had to respond, you could, especially if it's something personal or pertinent to what you are working on in the rest of your life. Or maybe it's something you can take care of the next day, but just check your email twice a day. So number 1, have one goal. Number 2, check your email twice a day. Number 3 is MIT. Most important tasks. Pick 3 major tasks to do, to get done each day. And it's really helpful if those major tasks fall under your number 1 goal. So you have your number 1 goal and your 3 major tasks. Don't try to do more than that. Just those 3 major tasks. And following that is number 4. And number 4 is, what are the minor things that you have to get done today? Do them all in one bunch. Like if you are trying to do time blocking, like I'm trying to do calendar blocking in my calendar every day. So far it's not worked. But if you try to do calendar blocking or have some time, just do those 4. You know, maybe it's some cleaning, maybe it's some returning phone calls, whatever. Minor tasks, do them all at one time. So you have 3 major tasks, 4 minor tasks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, when you write an email, and actually this could go for your texts as well, when you send a message of some kind, limit it to 5 sentences. I know that's hard, but have you ever gotten, especially a text that's like this? It's like it takes up your whole screen and keeps going. Or an email that's like, what is the point of this? And it just goes on and on and on. Limit it to 5 sentences. If it's a newsletter, that's something different. But if you're just sending somebody an email, limit it to 5 sentences. Number 6 is one I kind of changed because the original article said RSS feeds, which I'll get to in just a moment. But I thought it in terms of social media. I don't know how many social media accounts that you have or what you follow, but limit it to 6 social media accounts. And I would actually also maybe have a couple times a day when you check them so that you're not constantly checking them. So in other words, social media sites. For me, it would be, of course, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Goodreads. Those are your social media sites. Limit it to those 6 and spend a particular amount of time on those 6. Time yourself. You know, Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes and check your 6 sites. It will keep you focused on what you're doing, and if you think if there's something you need to come back to, hey, on YouTube you have watch later. I can't tell you how many times I'm checking YouTube and I see, oh man, I want to watch that. Don't have time right now, but I'll check it, and later on, I'll say, okay, now's the time. I'll set aside time to do some watch later. That'd be one of my 4 minor tasks or major tasks, depending on the subject matter. If it's research for this channel, then it's probably a major task. Okay, that's 1 through 6. Number 7 is spend 7 minutes in fun. Which is really interesting. If you completed a major task, reward yourself by spending 7 minutes doing something fun. That could be calling a friend, it could be watching 7 minutes of a show or a YouTube, or, you know, do something else fun. Maybe you enjoy coloring or making a puzzle or baking or eating. Find 7 minutes after you've completed a major task and have fun. Okay, so that's 1 through 7. Then we're going to skip over to number 10. 10 is limit yourself to 10 RSS feeds. Now, when I read this article, I was like, what is an RSS feed? You know, I've heard of this, but I don't know what it is. So I have a video that's up here that you can check out. It's all about how to use RSS feeds. RSS stands for really simple syndication. Basically what it does is you have to get some kind of app either on your computer or on your phone that does RSS feeds, and you can take all of these things that you check out. Like you're probably thinking, oh wait, I can only do 6 social media sites. What do I do? RSS feeds is something that people say maybe going out of style or whatever, but what I would say, if you listen to particular podcasts, follow a blog, not a vlog, but a blog, or if you certain news items or weather that you keep track of, those are some things that really could use RSS feed. So you're not just going through listening to every podcast or checking every podcast to see if they've had an updates. Now, I don't know this for certain, but my guess is on YouTube, if you subscribe to somebody like me and you click on the bell notification, that is like an RSS feed, because the bell notification will let you know up at the top of the screen, or I think it's, on your phone as well. There's a little tiny bell and it'll have a number on it if somebody you follow has uploaded a new video. I'm pretty sure that's what that is, an RSS feed. I'm making a stab in the dark, but if it's not an RSS feed, it's something very similar. In other words, you don't have to go to every website and say, hey, did they post a new video? There's a couple of videos that I follow. I have this channel, and then I have like a private channel that this channel's for research and my vlog. My other channel's for kind of fun stuff. And there was somebody that I followed, and I realized the other day, I really need to click on the bell notifications for this person. That way I know when they have posted a new vlog. That's what I'm talking about. You don't have to search through every news source to find an article about the latest hurricane or the kidnapping that happened in your state or whatever it is. You can have an RSS feed. Why a kidnapping? I don't know. But you have an RSS feed and it will let you know. And then you set up, your RSS feeds will only have like 10 syndicated channels that you follow. Don't have 25. Just set those 10 up. And that way you know when they've uploaded something new, but you're only doing 10 of them. But it will greatly decrease your going to all of these different things on your computer or your phone and looking to see if there's something new or something pertaining to the subject that you're interested in. You will save so much time. So the last Haiku Productivity, we have 1 through 7, number 10, number 100. And this one is a little bit more difficult. This one actually talks about stuff, and I can understand the less stuff you have, then the better off you are. The writer of this article was actually inspired by a blog by Dave Brito, which I'm going to try to find. And what he had is the 100 Things Challenge. He challenged people to reduce the amount of things they own to 100 items, but I think it didn't include like dishes and cleaning and things like that. So, I started thinking about it, and after I was planning the video and I was getting ready and putting on my jewelry, I started thinking, how much jewelry do I have? And I have this thing that it's a hanging bag, and it has little pockets in it for all the jewelry, and it has 80 pockets, some of which have more than one thing in them, and some very specific, like there's some scout jewelry, there's Christmas jewelry. But I was like, I have more than 80 pieces of jewelry. You may be somebody who enjoys shoes, and if you go and count your shoes, you might discover you have 100 or more pairs of shoes. What if you had to pare down your clothes, your jewelry, your shoes to just 100 items? Could you do it? Or maybe you have to pare down 100 pictures that you have saved on your phone. Could you do it? I don't know how you want to use that, but in terms of productivity, would it help if you got up in the morning and you didn't have to look through 5 or 6 pairs of shoes to figure out which one would go with your outfit? If you just had, say, 5 pairs, well, you want your tennis shoes, dressy shoes, slip-ons, flip-flops. You know what I'm saying? You would spend so much less time. I would spend so much less time looking for jewelry to wear. You're not sitting there, Think of what you could do. If you could eliminate something in your life that you know you spend a lot of time doing, could you pare it down to 100 things? And that's sort of a challenge. So Haiku Productivity, 1 through 7, 10, and 100. Could you do it? Would this be helpful for you? Please let me know in the comments below if you think Haiku Productivity would be helpful. And don't forget to subscribe. And hey, while you're there, click on that bell notification so you won't have to come back and check the channel to see if I've uploaded a new video. My name is Amelia. This is Reinventing You. Have a great one.